I have a yearly wall planner. And that yearly wall planner is when you have some goals or timeframes or things that you'd like to do during the year, you need to put them on that wall planner. You need to have your dates. And as you fill that up, it allows you to feel more comfortable knowing that you've got time to fit in these activities when things come up, like the caravan. I know Monday, tomorrow, I have time planned that if I get the message back in the morning, I can go and look at that in the afternoon, because I have that slot of time that I allow for flexible activities. So the wall planner, everybody needs. Whether you do it on a computer, if you're okay with that, fine. But I love the wall planner because it sits right in front of me where I'm at my desk. And if something comes up, I can look graphically at that whole image and I can see the date. And I can look quickly and something could go, wow, I can do that. So it's about being proactive and freeing up your mind, that you don't have to go into a little calendar on your phone. I find the wall planner process brilliant.
Hi there, Adrian here, and this is a video from a Zoom session that we do. We do these Zoom sessions every Sunday and we take questions and answers from the audience, some of our students, some of our members. We never know what questions are coming up, so I'm always excited to do these sessions and I hope to see you at one of them. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below and check out the other playlists that we have. Thank you, enjoy.
So first thing first, I just want to say thank you for showing up today, because I know, you're busy people and you have important things that you can be doing right now, but you're here in this room with us, and for that I want to thank you. Thank you for investing in your own learning, and thank you for investing in yourself. And I want to welcome you to after our discussions. I want to break the ice a bit and tell you a bit about who I am and what to expect tonight. My name is Dina Delplesh, and I'm a high performance coach, and I'm also your host for tonight. And this handsome man right here, his name is Adrian Cahill. You just saw him on the screen, and he's the CEO and founder of Motivate Community. The person who is responsible for this session and the initiator of some of the most awesome discussions that we have seen over the years. I need to ask you a favor, okay? I need your help to do that. Okay, so hopefully tonight, as we're about to engage with the man himself, Jay Wessels, and I hope I pronounced his last name correct.
Okay, and what a lovely bunch. We're going to have a small crew, but I hope we'll all enjoy this. So there's a little activity I'd like to start off with. And if everybody here, hopefully you have a pen and paper. You will have to use the paper to write up a few columns of things yourself. So, you'll need a couple of sheets to work through, and I will then send out the prepared sheet I have. But the first activity, if you could all cooperate, is I want you just to relax, take it easy, take a couple of breaths, whatever just feels good for you, just to get in the present moment. And when you're feeling okay, I want you to think about 5 things that you have gratitude for in your life. 5 things. And the top one on my list today, I wrote out to my mother on a card, was, I have so much gratitude that God chose you to bring me into the world. And it was because of this thinking that I decided to put this activity in here. So take a little bit of time. 5 things. So would one person from each group like to tell us what they think were the best things that they considered to be great, that we have gratitude for? So we can start. Just anyone from each group. We don't need to be formal about this. Someone please speak up.
My group, we had a few things, but one thing that we really had in common, I think we all said, family, friends, community, health.
Right. So family, and I expected today being Mother's Day that we'd have a lot of commonality about this appreciation for mothers and where we've come from. Righto, great.
Anybody else? Said tequila as well, but I'll leave that as we won't tell anyone about the tequila she was grateful for.
Oh. Okay, who's next? Oh, come on, people. Don't be shy.
Yeah, I'll share.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Yeah, I was in a group, and then like Adrian said, like the things like family, health, things like that, place to live. But what stuck out to me was when someone said that even though their business maybe will close because of the pandemic, she's looking forward to this as a new opportunity to start like a new venture. So that really stuck out to me. And I connected with another person who's also living in China, and it's pretty tough because of the lockdown. But I think it's really good that we think about what's grateful. And also, I like listening to what other people find grateful too. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you for sharing. Wonderful. Okay, Darko, I think you were going to speak up.
In my group, I was with SAPS. So we both found that family is mostly what we are grateful for, and the support we are getting from the family, because we discussed that support is something most important in this period.
Excellent, excellent. So it's just a pretty switched on group. Like, it's coming out as I was hoping. So anybody else have anything to share from their group?
I wasn't.
Sorry. Oh, sorry. Yes, Jasmine.
Go ahead, please. That's okay.
Okay. Okay. William was by himself with me. Carry on.
Okay, good. As Jasmine, I'm from Shenzhen, China. In our group, we just share that first we'd like to appreciate, both of our members here in our group. We firstly appreciate our moms. Okay, and secondly, appreciate the ability we could still be survival well in so far. We are being through lots of ups and downs during this epidemic, but so far we are returning back normally.
Excellent.
So we appreciate everything we have been through.
Thank you. Thank you, Jasmine. Appreciate that. Mr. William, did you want to say something? You have to unmute.
Sorry about that. I was a little late and I wasn't in the group. But three things came to me. I'm very grateful for my mother and father's DNA and those of their ancestors, which is really important. It's made me as I am. And also, I'm very grateful for still being alive at my age and having fun. That's really important. And the last thing I think, which is I think important for everyone as well, is having an open mind like everyone has here, and making that mind positive so it can always create things for the future. So that was just my quick little input.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you for that. Now, there should be one more or so.
I'll do for my group, for my pair.
Yes.
So common we found was family and friends. But I had some examples which actually also can go under the groupings that Helen had. So basically it's happiness, health, peace at heart. And for me, I had a few like very specific examples, like being able to study chefing after 30 years, in another field, on top of studying coaching. Where I live, just to be in nature, very close to nature, and also all the creative activities I'm currently engaged in. So that's really a blessing, yeah, to be able to do those things now as opposed to do it when I retire. So that's
excellent, excellent. So thank you. Any more? There might be one more, I think. If there's not, we'll please speak up. Okay. So look, moving on. Isn't it quite amazing that it's the life things that we really value? And I do have a sheet with some questions on it later. So the question I'm going to ask first is, I want you to think about how much planning have we really done for our life? How much effort have we really put in to sit down and decide what is it that we really want to achieve within the next 5 years or 10 years? Have we been, I suppose, have the courage enough to do that? And if most people are like me, we have an idea, but we really don't put it down. Although some people have vision boards, some people have goals, some people have business goals, some people have life goals. But how many here? Now, please share in the chat if you actually have a goal or a vision board, or you have written down anything that you really would like to achieve in your life. So just put a yes or a no in the chat, please, just so it'll give us all a bit of an idea. Dino, I would expect nothing less. Well done, mate. Bernadette, yeah, great. And William, okay, many times. That's interesting. So it's constantly under review. Darko, I have, but never written down. Laura, that's a brilliant answer, and I would have answered the same previously. Yeah. All right, Nan, on the path, gained a lot of traction. Okay, so Nan seems that it's in the mind and a focus. And a lot of people can do this. A lot of people can hold a plan in their mind. I really would like to go down this path. And they can actually function having that in their subconscious. So I personally don't believe you have to write it down, but I have found the power of doing so. Sabs, yes, great. And if you haven't, you're just joining. We're all different. But tonight is about making your awareness grow about the benefits of perhaps having some plan. And the first part is to understand yourself and then have the courage to write down what it is that you might truly desire. So, wonderful. Thank you for participating in that. That's great to work forward and to get your mind in the right set to think about what it is we're going to do a little bit later. But now I want to transgress back just to give you a little bit about myself. I think Adrian did a little blog and spoke about my background. So just quickly, I started in the workforce as a young boy at 15 years old in a practical trade, became an electrician and quickly moved through and was always interested in learning whatever came up available to me. But I never planned my life. I hit 14 years old and finished my junior level schooling. I did 10 years of education. I went on a holiday and was offered the chance to do an apprenticeship. And I thought, wow, I know a bit about this. This sounds really interesting. And I was shown around what was available in a place called Mount Isa Mines. And I was like, whoa, I can join in this here and learn things. So I did it. So I think about after I did 2 apprenticeships in once, taking advantage of it, got married, met a lovely girl, had 2 girls, and thought life was pretty rosy. And then there was a few marriage difficulties, as we all have. And my wife and I did a course called Alpha Dynamics, which is about utilizing as much power of the mind as possible for each individual. And that opened my awareness to what the human mind could do and some of the functioning. And one of the things I learned from that course was how to wake up every morning without an alarm clock. And I still practice and do that for the last, I think I was probably 28 years old. So goodness me, you know, the last 50 years or something. No, not quite that long. But so the mind, the human mind, has an amazing capability. And we're all on this journey of learning about that capability within us. I then moved on in my employment and went into a role in a power station for a few years, family growing up. And then I started a business with my wife, but that caused a lot of stress at our marriage. And unfortunately, you know, it didn't work out. So I changed job. I had to stay home and look after my 2 daughters for a while. And I took a day work job instead of being on shift work. And that day work job became a training officer within the mines. So I was responsible for groups of apprentices. And one of the things I found in that trying to teach apprentices was that I was great on the floor, demonstrating hand skills and setting up exercises. But when it came to the classroom, I really could not understand why these apprentices had this great opportunity that I had, but half the time you'd try to talk to them and they'd start falling asleep or, you know, really didn't show, in general, a lot of interest. So I started utilizing some of the techniques I learned in that Mind Power course, and I found how effective they could be. So that gelled some interest. And then during that time, I did a sales course that came to towns of people, and it actually was NLP. So that was my first exposure. And then working as a training officer, I had the opportunity to go to university and be supported by the mines and do it in a part-time mode, not remote as we have now. We didn't have Zoom and all those things. So we had to work through workbooks, and we'd had online video conferencing. We did at least 2 weeks full-time attendance each year. And I studied and did a degree in adult teaching. And that is where my interest started to really be honed. I did a lot of psychology. I became aware of Myers-Briggs type indicator personality assessment. So this guided me to how I could actually understand people and the language. So after my uni, and I completed successfully, I spent my last year, I had a couple of unfortunate things happen during that part-time, and I got a bit behind. I think I had my appendix out, I had 2 things. Anyhow, I decided once I'd finished the university, I took a full year off work and completed my degree, and I undertook extra training. I did the Myers-Briggs type indicator assessors course. So I started utilizing that instrument as part of my work, and I found that very effective. But as things happen, I decided to leave that job and go to the big smoke in Brisbane. And I had the opportunity then to do the advanced level of Myers-Briggs. I took on a job working for what's called a group employment company, basically like a labour hire company for apprentices. And I started in that job with 85 apprentices working with another guy. After a few years, we had 285 apprentices, and it was a lot of work. But the best thing about that knowledge and background and learning helped me develop an employment assessment process. And in that 5 years I was there and became operations manager, I think we lost 2 apprentices out of that time. So well over 500 apprentices were put through the system, and that worked well. But unfortunately, as happens, I got kicked out, and by a new economic rationalist put in charge of the company. I was the operations manager. He didn't like me and the way I did things. So yes, they engineered a way to get rid of me and did me a favor because I went to work for the government. And I got seconded to do employment interviewing and selecting people as part of that job quite often as well. So just to give you the background, so I was always intrigued about finding people, their thought processes, matching people with jobs. So as it was, I moved into a more technical role there, quite a few changes, and I decided to leave the government and set up a company and business doing certification. And I did that for a few years, focused on the technical, and I really let go this involvement with people and all that learning I had. Then, I left that job, set up my own company in Hong Kong. I brought in a business partner, and we were totally technically oriented until we started employing some Chinese people within our Hong Kong business, which was set up in Shenzhen on the mainland. And that was a whole new challenge for me. But anyhow, we got through that and carried on for 8 years or something. So until we shut that down, and I started up and was establishing my own operation out of Shenzhen. And then COVID hit. And I had to come back to Australia because I was not a full resident. And with all the things that happened, business, I had made all sorts of plans for the year, and it all fell apart. So I came back to Australia, annoyed heck out of my wife. We separated, everything fell apart. But the little glow of hope was Adrian, and that I'd contacted Adrian, and I think I was a bit angry at him going, you advertised to do this meetup and you'd help men who are in trouble, and I was feeling totally tense. And anyhow, coming back to Australia, somehow we made contact again, and Adrian did an NLP session with me for free, if I remember. And I found it very beneficial. And it was a depth which I had never perceived before. And then Adrian had started up and I think Darko was there, and Chris Williams started up his first NLP online. And I was able to go down that path, and it just felt right. So I am where I am because circumstances, I didn't plan any of it. But if we open our awareness, opportunities take us back to where we really want to feel that we belong. So I have a lot to thank Adrian for. And now, of course, I'm with a nice group of people, and a little lucky to be studying master practitioner training. And it's the most wonderful training I think that I've undertaken in my life. So I'm so appreciative of that. So that's my background that's brought me to where I am. I'm a technically qualified person, but I've really enjoyed the people side of learning, developing, understanding thought processes. And of course, with that, we then start to realize that there's many people who have problems. Their thoughts, I had difficulties, I was stressed, and I started to realize in my background, there were things happening that can be addressed. And Adrian demonstrated well how the processes can work. And at the same time, I had involved myself in a men's group. And this men's group is a wonderful organization called Mankind Project. And the processes within the men's group are actually NLP based as well, sound psychological processes. So my whole life now, what I do, it's based on NLP. And there's such great credibility when people can be so easily helped using NLP. And it can be adapted to so many things. So what I've done is used my learning from NLP to help myself, as well as using others to help me. We do peer coaching to decide what it is I really want in my life and where I'm going. So what I'm going to outline to you tonight is that process that I've learned. And I've taken bits from many places. So if somebody thinks I've plagiarized their ideas, please, it's all about just putting together ideas to help others. This is not about, I'm not publishing a book, I'm not doing anything. So please be a little forgiving, because there's a lot of commonality in what we all learn. And what I found is that so many people are grabbing ideas from everywhere and publishing them and going, it's the latest, greatest thing. Well, welcome to the world. We all find the latest, greatest thing and think it's wonderful because we've not heard of it before. So a lot of what I'm going to say, I believe you'll have heard. So the three questions I would like everybody just to keep in mind. This is the overall framework of getting your mindset right. So the first one, in what do you believe about life? That's very general, but we all have a belief system, and we have learnt this through our upbringing, from childhood, from our experiences of life. The problem is no one's given us an instruction book to understand it. Probably not until NLP come along, and that exists. So the first question, what is true for you? It's a very general question, but this is one that's applied to your thoughts, your ideas, and deciding what it is that I like. What is it about me? So this is like a framing question. What is true for you? And if you need to do something more to understand yourself, there are many coaches available to help with that. And I do quite a lot of this as well. The other one, what gives meaning to you? So in looking a little bit more depth, what is it that you do that actually gives you a sense of satisfaction? And then the other one, what brings about happiness? Now that's a very broad question as well. But I think if I ask the people here, what is it that makes you happy? And this is a question that's often asked. And I find that we really don't know, unless you've been through personal growth, self-development. But one of the common things I've found, if we look at today, family, a sense of belonging, there's many things that give us this internal happiness. And happiness is not being joyous and going to a party and jumping up and down. I'm talking about this serious sense of self-worth, feeling that you can achieve things. There's so many things. So for you, just think, what is it that you really think or know gives you happiness? So let's leave that question. This one is for people can download to use later. And initially, you'll have to construct your own tonight with a piece of paper. So this sheet has 3 columns: dreams, desires, and goals. Now, it is in the order that we will work through. So as you go, if you can have that sheet ready, make it up so you can write however you like. And then a little later, if you want to do this process by yourself or have a coach help you through it, it's very handy because there's much, much more room. And then we're going to work through how to utilize this process to find out what we should set as goals. Okay. So I just want to ask a question. Is there Anybody here who has a concern about being relaxed and doing a little bit of a guided meditation just to get you in the right mindset? And what we're going to do, we're going to travel back a little through our memory to find back maybe to school, maybe when we're older, maybe when we were very young, to find what it is that our subconscious can bring up that is truly something in our life that we've desired and maybe forgotten about. So that's the process we're going to use. It's called timeline in NLP, and doing it as a group is something new for me. But what each person will do is just relax. I'll take you back, and then as you get some thoughts and ideas, I want you to be ready to write down, note form, in that dreams column. What is it that comes to your mind? And be open. You're writing them down. You're not going to share these all with us. This is your personal dreams. And if somebody wants to share, yes, we will, but there's no compulsion. So please feel open and participate, and then you will really, I think you'll find some benefit from this process. So that's what we're going to do. So you're fully aware. If anyone has any problems, no worries at all. Just sit and relax. And if you can just think about what it is and write them down without following through the timeline process, that's okay as well.
My mind automatically slows down. I don't know, but as soon as you said it, my mind started going slow.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to have a little talk first. Just wanted to prepare you, just be relaxed. There's a subject which is very important in my learning to understand, to be able to utilize our mind and to go through and accept NLP processes, relaxation, and train ourselves. Now, my belief is that you can't have a healthy mind without a healthy body. There's a balance. And there's some subjects here that I'm going to bring up that people don't normally talk about in a forum like this. So to have a healthy body, which provides the nutrition for the mind, we have to take care of it. And my way of doing this, as I've learned over a number of years, is first thing every morning when I wake up, I have a 1 liter bottle of water, which I prepare the night before beside my bed. And even during the night, sometimes I wake up and feel thirsty and I have a drink. But in the morning when I wake up, I get out of bed straight away and I have a nice comfortable chair. I go and sit in and I relax and I drink that water. It takes about 20 minutes usually, up to half an hour. But I sit in a calm manner, just be relaxed, see what thoughts come to mind, and I drink that 1 liter or whatever's left of it of water before anything else. Now, for some people, depending on your body size, 1 liter might be too much. But from my learning through a naturopath that I visit, everybody should drink at least 500 mils of water before you partake in any other activity. It may be a luxury, but it's what we need for our body to function and so that we don't get tired during the day. And then ideally, everybody should have at least 1.5 to 2 liters of water. For my body, I've been assessed, I need 2.2 liters of water every day. And if I don't drink that, I do start to feel it. So water is the first thing. The next thing is we're going to talk about a friend of mine who's done her biological research on children's toilets and habits, what she calls wheeze and poos. Now, these are the graphical indicators of our body health, right? The color of our urine, how often we go to the toilet is very important. As most people would know, if you don't drink a lot of liquid, our wee starts getting darker in color. And if we know what the color of our wee is, we monitor changes. This is a very good indicator of our body health. And if anybody who's been unwell and had, you know, some flus and colds, you would notice what happens, the changes that happen. So drinking a lot of water, knowing what color our wees are, a bit easier for men than ladies perhaps, but still, it's something important. Now, the next thing is our poos. Now, it's sort of not a subject we all like to talk about, and in some places, I'm sorry, I'm not meaning any offense here. But a lady introduced me to the subject many years ago, and she talked about fluffy floaties or stinky sinkies. I never realized the true meaning of the importance of this. The lighter, the fluffier our waste products are moving out, the better is usually our state of health. If you have very dark, very heavy fecal matter, there's something not going well in your body. And it's either not enough hydration or not enough fiber. And then the nutrition. So for to be on average health for most people, you need a light brown color stools. And if they should be, if you can, in some toilets you'll see it, they shouldn't be this real heavy dark mass. That's what's important. All right. And ideally, you should be going to the toilet twice a day. If you can achieve that, you know your body's in optimal health. And if your body's in optimal health, your mind will have the best chance of functioning to its highest level. So that's all I'm going to say on that subject, but it's very important. And there are ways in diet, there's many people, I'm happy to do a session on covering what I have done, but there's lots of advisors that can get you on the diet, the right path. Great. Okay. Now I'm just going to have a quick question time. If anybody, we've covered a fair bit of territory. Does anybody have any questions? Wow. I've either done a great job or I'm getting boring. What is it? Such nice people. Okay. So everyone's now had their mind awakened. We're going to start taking this exercise about tonight. So I'd like everybody, please, just to take a deep breath. Let it out, shake the shoulders, feel relaxed, do whatever you want. Take a breath in, count to 3, hold it, let it out. And as you do, let your shoulders drop, let your face relax, let your jaw relax. Take a breath, relax, relax. Recognize how comfortable you're feeling, how nice it is to relax. Lift your head a little, like you're looking up to find some memory in the past. And I'd like you to think back to when you really felt a moment of joy in your life. Maybe graduating high school, maybe getting some award, maybe a time you had a birthday, you had a party, and it was really enjoyable. Maybe you received a wonderful present. Or maybe you went on a holiday. Whatever it is, go back to that time. See if you can remember the feeling that you had. Visualize yourself in that time. And try to remember those feelings, that joy of that special time when you felt wonderful. And during this time, you remember that you had so many exciting things you wanted to do. You had hopes. You had dreams. You had things you wanted to do. Life was before you. If something comes to mind that you thought that you'd want to do, maybe go to university, maybe travel to another country. As those ideas come to you, you can open your eyes, maintain that mindset, that thought, but write down these ideas in the column that you made on a piece of paper. Anything that comes to your mind that you remember as you move forward in your life, from that moment of joy where your mind functioned and you had desires, you had hopes. Write down as many as you can. And as you've done that and written down, close your eyes again, and moving forward in your life, what other special moment can you remember? Think about that moment. Picture yourself back there again, remembering those feelings, remembering the joy, and remembering the hope, those things you were looking forward to. And as the thought comes to mind, take the time to make a note of what that might be. Plenty of time. And then keep moving forward in your life. Each time when a significant event comes to mind, pause at that time. Take yourself into that memory. Remember the feeling. And then remember the thoughts that come to mind. And then think about what it is at any part of that life as you move forward, where you had some things that you wanted to do that became part of your awareness, like traveling to another country, climbing a mountain, wanting to have children, father or mother, wanting to have your home. All those wonderful feelings, those wonderful desires that we had and we still have as we move forward in our life. Now, taking time, slowly come back to the room, open your eyes, bring your attention back to the present. Everybody back with us. Okay. Is there anyone who hasn't written something down? Is there anyone who didn't feel or get anything from that process? Please be honest, speak up. I will offer a personal session to anybody who finds some difficulty in doing this at a suitable time to fit into the client schedule. Because some people have some difficulties with accepting and doing some processes. We're all very happy to help out. Okay, so now to the process. I'm just opening up the sheet. So on the left-hand side, you've got 3 columns. You've got dreams. So what I would like you to do was to look through those, and in a relaxed state, as we've just been, I would like you to think about 1 or 2 of those items that you found from your past, or even from the present now that's still in your mind, that you really, as you look through them, something resonates with you, that you go, oh, I'd really like to do this. Doesn't matter what it is that's stopping it at the moment. If you want to travel to another country, please put it down. Don't let our perception of reality at this current time stop any dream or desire that you have. So if everybody can at least pick 1 and change it and take it over to the desire column. Write it there, underline it, do whatever you like, make it stand out. So has everybody been able to do that? Find one? A yes, couple of, oh, excuse me a minute. I have a little technical glitch. We're back. My computer likes to have a little sleep every now and then. Okay, so we write there. So Dino, do you have one, just an example that you've written down as a desire that you'd like to share?
Well, I think, let me share something that actually came up during the exercise.
Yeah.
That was quite a powerful exercise. It actually reminded me of what I really, really want to do. And one of the things was to go back to my high school and give a graduation speech to the graduation class, you know, and make it, yeah.
Wow, excellent. That's such a brilliant, you know, to be able to do. So Dino, just an example, what comes to your mind now that you would have to do to make that happen?
Well, the first thing came to my mind that I would have to go back home, but then a part of me thinking with everything that's going on, maybe I don't have to. So there's two parts of the coins. So I can take the opportunity now, you know, reach out to some people, make that happen digitally, or I can, put things into place and take that trip and do and organize to make it happen. Yeah, that's what's coming to my mind.
Okay, so in this process, if we can do this a number of times, we can, those dreams that we have, we can add to that all the time. Some people might find that after this session, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next couple of days, their awareness has been opened. So add to this list. Have that sheet. We'll share it on the chat and add to it. Keep it going. And then utilize it. Think about the dream. How much internally do I really want to do this? What does it do for me? Does it enhance my life? Is it something that if I did it would make me feel great? And then what is it that you have to do to enable this to happen? That's the goals. Once you think about, right, what is it? I want to do this. And most people have done things like goal setting, making them SMART. All right. They've got to be realistic, achievable, and time bound. I'm not so a one who's so great on the time bound. I think if you've got that in front of you and you can put this sheet, you can make a vision board up, you can do whatever you like. There's many processes. The more we see these things in front of us and we've got those goals, the more likely we are to achieve them. And if we have these things that resonate within us, it will promote happiness, a sense of achievement. Because as we've all seen in that process of having gratitude, it is family, it is all these things that are people-oriented that truly give us the greatest satisfaction. And that's my belief as well. So goals, you know those steps. You'll be able to find those goals to achieve what you want to do. I have a sheet with 3 columns. The first one, the way I'm utilizing to work through my dreams, I got 3 columns. I've got a maybe, and then I've got a possible, and then the last one is, I can't read my own writing, but basically, what can I do now? And this takes some honesty within us. If you look at that, a piece of paper, 3 columns, the maybes, so all those dreams, the possible, yeah, this really can be achieved. And then, which ones can I do now, or start soon, or work towards? That's the process I've used to go through my dreams. And from that, I'm going, well, the things I desire have been shown. And interestingly enough, that I have been focusing on one of these for an example, and that is to buy a caravan so that I can go and live in places for a time. I can move around and I can still work, I can still function, but I can go to different venues, maybe go and do presentations, maybe do coaching in different places. And I can be equipped without being tied to one place. Well, on Friday, I was going through what is an online sales platform because I was looking for some building materials for a project I'm doing at home. And all of a sudden, this advert for a caravan came on. And the price was like half what it should be. So I sent an email, a contact to the lady. She come back to me. I said, the price is too cheap. I'm going to pay you this amount of money. And she come back to me. We haven't finalized the transaction yet. Something's happened. She said she was about waiting on orders for redeployment. So, but I've been focusing on that, and to have that offer come up for perfectly what I wanted, and the price was half what I expected to pay. And I offered a little more. So things happen when the mind truly focuses on what it is that you truly desire. And that's it for tonight. So thank you, people, for listening. And I hope you something, have achieved something within yourself, and open for questions. Thank you.
Boom! You made it here! Good on you. Make sure you click the subscribe button below and check out the playlist at the end. If you'd like to come along to our Sunday sessions where we host a live free Q&A for our students and members, you're welcome. I'll see you there.